Well, hello again and welcome to our reading of selections from Euripides, the Alkestis. I'm going to resume at line 244, which is the beginning of the so-called second episode. These lines are in lyric metre and also they contain Doric forms. As we see in the first word here, we have an alpha here where you'd expect an eta in Attic and hameras for hameras. And this represents, it is a very poetic death scene here, and hence it's a very emotional piece, and that accounts for the fact that it's in this lyric metre and hence using these Doric forms. So Alkestis is on stage along with Admestos. Alkestis would be lying down on her deathbed, and Admestos is there rather distraught at the death of his the death of his wife, which is about to occur. Halier Kaiphos hemeras, uraniae tedinae nepheles dramaiu. So, O sun, these are vocatives here, and light of day, and the heavenly eddies. Dine is an eddy, something which swirls around. Had come to have more technical scientific meaning at this point of time, but it's just heavenly dini, heavenly eddies of the running cloud. That's alpha for eta here, so it's a genitive. It's feminine. The dromaios, the adjective here, can be, not always, but it can be to termination as it is here. So although it's a masculine ending, it's going with nepheles. So Admestos then replies. Now remember, she's called upon the sun, Helios, and Admestos says, Hora sekame duo kakos pepragotas, uden theus drasantes anthotu thane. So it, that is the sun, is the subject of this. The sun is looking at you, Kame, Crassus for Kai, Eme, and me. We too faring badly. This is the perfect participle from prasso. So faring badly, one of the meanings of prasso. So faring badly, although drasantes, having done nothing to the gods, so having done no ill to the gods, in return for which you are dying. This is second person here. Well, perhaps you will die. In return for which you will die. It's future here, isn't it? So, having done nothing, understand bad, to the gods, having done nothing to the gods, in return for which, that is, which deserves, for you, that you will die. Alkestis replies, Gaia te kai melathron stegai, num fidioi de koitai patrias ioku. O earth, and the stegai, often just the houses, but it's literally the roofs, and that's what it is here. So roofs of the halls, and the bridal beds of paternal Eolcus. So the bridal beds of paternal Eolcus, of our fatherland Eolcus. So we're meant to think of Alkestis as being somewhat delirious at this stage. Epirus sautan o talaina me prodois, lissu de tus kratuntas oitirai theus. Raise yourself up, O you wretched one, O you poor one. Me prodois, and this is from prodidomi, and it's being used here, it's a subjunctive being used as an imperative, I think, here. Prodidomi often means to betray, but it doesn't really have that meaning here. It's more of the sense of abandon, as it does earlier in the play. So do not, so raise yourself up, you poor thing, do not abandon me. Lissu, another imperative here, pray from lissamai, it's the second person middle. So pray to that the gods who are ruling, oik tirai, infinitive from oik tero, might take pity. So pray that the gods might take pity. Alkestis replies, Horo dikopon, horo scaphos en limna. Nekuen de porthmus, ekon ker epiconto caron, meede calais. Timeles epego su caderges, tardi toi mes becominos takun a. So I see, and it's repeated because she's quite delirious, and also it's for emphasis. You often get this in these lyric parts. So I see the dik hopon. It's from dis plus cope. It's the two-oared. Scaphos, it's a little ship, two-oared boat. So I see the two-oared boat. I see it on the limne, the lake. Again, alpha for eta here. And the porthmus, the ferryman, Charon, the ferryman of the dead, having his hand, care for care, we got a shortening there probably for the sake of meter. So having his hand, epiconto, the kontos is the pole, the barge pole used to push the boat off on the lake. So kontos is a barge pole. So I see Charon, the fisherman, the ferryman of the dead, having his hand on the barge pole. Ade, now he is calling me. Why do you delay, Timeles? One of the meanings of mellow. Mellow can mean to be about to plus an infinitive. It can also mean to delay. So why are you delaying? Epegu, make haste. Su caterges, you are delaying. Another word for delay. Catergo. Different root from this one. So why you are holding me up, basically. The tade here is an internal accusative, I think. So and sperkominos from sperkomai, meaning to hasten, another word for hastening and hurrying, and to kunai, another word for hurrying someone up. So so hastening, he hurries me up, tardy, by these words, or in respect of these words, or in this way. And the toy is just indeed. So for indeed, hastening, making haste, he is hurrying me along, tardy, by these words. Admestos then says, Oimoi, Pikran getain di moi nauclerian elexas, odus daimon hoia pascomen. Alas, you have spoken of this, you have indeed, just note the particles here, you have indeed spoken of this bitter nauclerion voyage to me. O dus daimon, O ill-fated one, hoia pascomen, such things we are suffering. Alkestis replies, Age me tis uk horas, nekuon es aulan, hoop, offrusin kuenalgesi blepon, pterotos, now we've got in brackets in obelisks here, hidas, there's a problem with the text, and then in brackets, methes me, Tirexes, aphes, hoion, hodon, hard, delio tata probino. So it becomes even more erratic in the language here, and unfortunately we've got a textual problem as well. But she says, someone is leading me, someone is leading me, do you not see? They're leading me into the aulan, the courtyard, nakuon of the dead. Now the Hades is, the easiest way out for this is to take this as Hades, or something like Hades is meant here. Something like winged Hades looking at me from under his literally blue or dark, perhaps, or ophrus eyebrows. Release me, what Tyrexes, what will you do? Release, let me go. This is a superlative adverb here. Sorry, no, it's not, because of the eta. So it looks like the superlative. It is a superlative but adjective here. I, the most wretched one, I am going on such a journey. So such a dreadful road on which I am set. So the this, although it looks like a neuter plural here, it is actually a feminine because of the dialect. So I am advancing the most wretched one on such a path. Admestos says, oitran philoisi, ekteton malista emoi kai paisin, haiste penthos en koino todi. And it's feminine because it's agreeing back with Alkestis. So you are understood pitiable to those who love you, to those who are dear, and from those ektetone, so from among those that love you, you are most pitiable understood for me and the children and your children, for whom indeed this suffering, understand, is in common. So we who share in this, for those who have a share in this suffering. So literally, for whom indeed this suffering is en koino, in common. Methete me ede. Release me now. So I think she's referring here to the idea of death coming upon her, taking her. Clinat usteno. So it's imperative here. It's something like, let me lie down, for I do not have strength on my feet. So I am not strong in my feet. Plesion Hades, Hades is near. Scotia dep ossoisi nux herpe. Techna. Ugeti de, ugeti me tesphon esti. Chirontes o techna tophaos horoiton. Dark, now Scotia generally is used as a noun meaning darkness. Here it's Scotios as an adjective. So dark nux night comes upon my eyes, dated plural here for eye. So darkness comes upon my eyes, my children, indeed. Literally, there is no longer, repeat again, because she's in this state, is there a mater for mater for the two of you. This is a dual dative here. So there is no longer, your mother is no longer exists. So there is no longer a mother for the two of you. Chirontes. Now Chiron is often used in the sense of farewell. Chiron means to rejoice, of course, but it's she's saying here to the two of them, so farewell, O children. The horoton here this is a interesting form. It's from horao, of course. It's a second person dual present optative active. Second person present dual optative inactive, and it's O children, and it's a wish here, so it's optative. May you see this light. In other words, may you continue to live. So may you see this light. Finally, Admestos says, Oimoi, tod epos lupron kuo kai pantos emoi thanatu mesdon, me prosethion tles me produnai, me prospaidon hus orphanies. We get lots of very long spondies in this line here, with long, finally a short syllable here. So orphanies al ana tolma suga themenes u ketan ien en soi desmen kai sen kai me sen ga filian sebomesta. So alas, I hear this word of grief, and it is greater for me than any death. So it's worse for me than any kind of death. Do not now we've got set in brackets here because it's slightly odd. So do not, by the gods, do not dare produnai to abandon me, nor prospaidon, nor by your children, this is pros plus the genitive, nor by your children whom you will leave as orphans. This is a future, the Attic future. The verb is orphanisto. This is the Attic future here that you've seen in grammars. So do not by your children, nor by your children whom you leave as orphans. Al ana. Now the ana is very common apocryphated form for anesti, to arise. So it's something like, but arise, get up. Tolma, well, have faith, literally dare. This is an imperative from tolmao. Now we get a genitive absolute. So for if you perished, or if you perish, then I would no longer exist. Literally, I would no longer be. You often use the verb to be in the sense of exist. This is an octative here, first person. So I would no longer exist. We exist in you, so because of you we exist, and so both we either live and may and not live. So as to live or not live. So our life depends on yours. In other words, if you die, I will no longer live. My life and death are in your hands. There's a little paraphrase of that one. For Sanga Filian Sebomesta, you'll see this little sigma here in the choral sections. You often see this in tragedy. It's just the same as metha, but putting a sigma in changes the length of the syllable, so it's often put in for the sake of meter. For I revere your love. I have deep respect for your love. And that is the end of this lyric passage. This is at the beginning of the second episode.